In a mysterious country, Hibu Kyusuke attacks the military and decimates them with his amazing powers. But he chooses to surrender despite having the upper hand. Afterward, Hibu is sent to a special Esper prison and causes chaos on his first day as he insults the military in charge and talks about having a giant ego. Shortly after, Hibu spots a fellow inmate named Andy and goes to meet him. While talking to Andy, he was rudely interrupted, which causes him to get angry and he sends a helicopter flying in the air. However, the military manages to dampen his power and place him in confinement with Andy, who clearly didn't do anything. In solitary, Hugo tries to convince Andy to join his team even though he hates espers, but Andy makes fun of him as it is impossible to escape from this special prison. Hippo strikes a deal with Andy stating that he must join his team if he manages to break him out of prison, and Andy accepts. The next day, during breakfast, the cook puts a special drug in Hippo's meal, but he quickly notices this and gives his meal to Andy. Not long after, the prisoners stage a brawl and place bets on their favorite fighters. However, Andy becomes paralyzed in the middle of the fight and collapses to the ground after being unable to defend himself. Andy is taken to the hospital and wakes up in a surgery room. He quickly realizes that Hibu has taken down the guards and they escape together. Hibu informs him that the prison is being used for illegal experiments on espers. While talking, they encounter a prison guard, but Andy incapacitates him easily, which surprises Hibu. They soon arrive at a special prison where a young girl with special powers is being kept, and Hibu disarms the guards with ace. However, the warden attacks them with a monster created by fusing the body parts of several esper prisoners. Hugo attacks the beast, but the monster wards off his attacks and dominates him. Enraged, Hugo removes his limiter and unleashes his true power. He decimates the monster easily with his frightening power. He escapes the prison with Yugiri alongside Andy, and members of Pandra soon arrive. They free all the prisoners and Andy officially joins the team. After joining the Pandra, they discover that Andy has the ability to neutralize all esper powers near him, which causes them to experience headaches and drowsiness. At night, Andy reports to his superior about his progress on the ship Catastrophe. Meanwhile, Maggie, one of Pandra executives, doesn't trust Andy because of his past and also because they are unable to read his mind with their power. Soon after, Pandra prepares to trade smuggled weapons with Carlo, a friend of Hubu from World War II and is also a mafia boss. It turns out Hubu is 80 years old, but he uses his powers to preserve his youthful look and regenerates himself. Upon arrival, Pandra is attacked by the mafia, but they easily defeat them. Later that night, during the meeting, Andy stands on guard with a sniper rifle with orders to kill Carlos on Hubu's command, but Andy is unable to do the job despite receiving the signal. However, Hubu already planned it all out and sent his clones for the meeting. He then places a limiter on Andy and kills Carlos at lightning speed, but it's just a robot clone. After discovering the trick, Hubu pinpoints Carlos' location, but he is attacked by the latter, which is a high-level esper. Hubu encounters his attacks and kills him instantly. The next day, Maggie asks Yugiri to read Andy's mind as he is now weakened by the limiter, but she rejects her request, stating that she can only read Andy's mind on Hibu's order. Elsewhere, Minamoto, a commander of a special esper team called the Children, arrives for the Blue Star ceremony with his friend Saki. The Children is a unique team created by Babel, a government organization, and it contains 3 Japanese level 7 espers under the contract with the government. Pandra is a rival of Babel because the organization was created by the government, which the Pandra is fighting against. Later on, Minamoto and Saki attend a party for esper organizations all over the world, hosted by Princess Sophie. At the party, Minamoto spots Hyobu and members of Pandra. He confronts Hyobu, which prompts him and his allies to retreat without being seen after they turn off the lights. Moments after, Minamoto discovers that the princess is missing and he tries to access the contents of a flash drive which Saki stole from Hyobu. Meanwhile, Sophie is in the custody of Pandra. In order to protect her from being assassinated, Hyobu then uses mass hypnosis to manipulate his enemies by feeding them false information about Sophie's whereabouts to lure them out. Afterward, they discover that the mastermind behind the assassination wants to kill Sophie because of her esper protecting policy. However, Minamoto appears to be a step ahead as he deduces the enemy's identity after analyzing the police files. Sophie soon becomes friends with Yugiri, who is responsible for her kidnapping, and they take a walk around the city. They arrive at an orphanage where Sophie met Yugiri years ago before she mysteriously disappeared. While they talk, Sophie is shot, but Andy takes the hit. Hyobu quickly incapacitates the criminals and they are arrested. Back on the ship, Andy starts investigating the ship as he is acting based on the orders of his superior. Suddenly, it is attacked by the children, who have been sent by Babel to infiltrate the catastrophe. Afterward, Hyobu confronts Kyoru, a member of the children, and they engage in a furious battle, while Andy is being captured by Koldoi and Shiho, other members of their children. They hack the ship's main computer after stealing the key from Squirrel. However, members of Pandra refuses to go down without a fight and they regroup with Andy. He then uses his destructive second power, which grants him the ability to disable the ability of any esper he touches. He defeats Fujiko, the founder of Babel, and destroys the hacker's control over the ship, while Pandra engages the children in battle. Determined to win, Kyoru and Chiho combine their powers with their limiter's triple boost feature to incapacitate their enemy, but Hyobu arrives just in time and repels their attack. He proceeds to unlock his limiter, but they use the opportunity to escape as they retreat with fear in their eyes. After their encounter with the children, the ship is under repairs and Andy is ordered to accompany Yugiri by Maggie on their way back. Meanwhile, Hyobu sneaks into a Babel facility to conduct a test on his body in secret. On their way to the park, Andy is approached by Minamoto and Fujiko, who reveal that they know his true identity. They ask for his cooperation in apprehending Hyobu, while Seikaki, one of their agents, keep an eye on Yugiri. At the same time, Yugiri is exposed as an esper after she uses her powers to help a lost boy. Feeling unwanted by those surrounding her, she loses control of her powers and causes a devastating hypnotic trance. However, Andy arrives just in time and helps her. Not long after, other members of Pandra arrive and escort them back to the ship, where a birthday party is being held for Hyobu. Although he celebrates his birthday party with his crew, Hyobu hides the results of his test after discovering that he does not have much time to live. Later that night, Andy recalls when he was recruited by the government and given an assignment by his superior to finish, as the time has come for his training to be put to the test. Meanwhile, Hyobu reveals that their new mission is to steal a new ECM device developed by the US government. Upon hearing this new information, Andy informs Babel about the mission and they decide to set a trap for Pandra. However, they do not take the children with them, despite Kyoru's attempts to be included in the mission. Shortly after, Minamoto's men ambush Hyobu and his team. Andy decides to use the distraction to complete his own mission, which is to extract Ashigo, the ship's main defense system. Deducing Andy's plan, Hyobu heads back to the ship, but he's stopped by Kyoru, who learns of the plan to destroy Catastrophe. Showing signs of weakness, Hyobu decides to go all out and knock Kyoru out cold with his devastating power. In no time at all, he catches up to Andy and reveals that he always knew Andy was a spy. He states that he has to kill him now as Andy looks on in fear. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to our channel to get notified whenever we publish the next recap. Until then, take care and see you next time.